When I failed my college entrance exam 3 times, I thought life was unfair. When I applied for 30 different jobs and got rejected by all 30, I thought maybe the world didn't want me. When KFC came to my city, 24 people applied, 23 were hired. The only person not chosen was me. I laughed, not because I was happy, but because I realized if the world says no to you 100 times, maybe it's preparing you for something special. People say success is about talent. I say it's as about time. People say opportunity knocks once. I say it never stops knocking, but you must be awake enough to hear it. So today, I want to share with you a plan, a 6-month reset, not to change your job or your city, but to change your direction. You can't change your past in 6 months, but you can change your momentum. And momentum is everything. Because life does not need a restart button. It only needs a new decision. When I was a young man, I believed that failure was the worst thing that could happen to me. I believed that failing meant I wasn't smart enough. Or maybe life just didn't like me. When I failed my university exam the first time, I thought, okay, maybe I was unlucky. When I failed the second time, I started to doubt myself. When I failed the third time, I laughed. Not because it was funny, but because I realized life was giving me a message. You are meant to learn, not just win. You see, most people think success teaches them something, but it doesn't. Success only makes you feel good. Failure makes you grow. Failure is the best university in the world, and the tuition fee is paid. When we started Alibaba, we made mistakes almost every week. We had no money, no experience, no business background. We were just 18 dreamers sitting in my apartment trying to do something no one had done before in China. People laughed at us. They said, "You, English teacher, you will build an internet company? Impossible." But we believed, and still, everything went wrong. Our website crashed, our deals failed, our partners left, investors refused to meet us, we were rejected again and again. But I told my team, if we fall 100 times, we stand up 101, because every failure brings a small piece of wisdom. When you fail, don't rush to fix it immediately. Sit down. Think. Ask, why did this happen? What is life trying to teach me here? When I failed those exams, I realized I wasn't stupid, I just didn't understand how to learn effectively. So I changed my way of learning. When investors rejected me, I realized I needed to tell a better story. So I practiced how to communicate better. Every time life said no, I discovered something I could improve. That's how you fail wisely. When you fail, write it down. I always tell young people, keep a failure journal. Every time something goes wrong, write what happened and what you learned. One day, you saw look back and see that those painful lessons became your greatest teachers. You will see how each no was really guiding you to a better yes. Failure also builds humility. When you fail, you start to respect other people's struggles. You become kinder, more patient, more human. You stop judging others because you know how it feels to fall. That humility makes you stronger than any skill can. I remember after one very big business failure, I went home feeling completely defeated. I looked at my reflection in the mirror and thought, maybe they are right. Maybe I'm not meant for this. But then I saw my small son running toward me, laughing, not caring about my failures. And I realized life doesn't care how many times you fail. It only cares whether you get back up again. In life, you will be buried by difficulties. But remember, a seed must be buried in the darkness before it grows into the light. When you feel lost, when nothing is working, maybe life is not punishing you, it's planting you. So, don't fear failure. Don't hide from it. Don't let it define you. Let it refine you. Because every rejection, every mistake, every disappointment is preparing you for a bigger version of yourself. One day you will look back and say, if I had succeeded earlier, I would not have learned what I needed to survive success. Failure gives you roots before you grow wings. So my friends, if you are failing right now, smile a little. You are learning the language of growth. And when you learn to speak that language, success will have no choice but to listen. When I was young, I wanted everything fast. I wanted success to come tomorrow. I wanted recognition, progress, results immediately. But life has its own rhythm. No matter how much you rush, the sun will not rise before morning. Some things just take time. And when you learn to respect time, time starts to respect you. When people see successful companies, they often think it happened overnight. They see Alibaba today, the buildings, the technology, the global name, and they imagine it was built quickly. But the truth is, for many years, we were invisible. We were working quietly, struggling privately, learning slowly. For almost 3 years, no one believed in us. But we kept working, one day at a time. Let me tell you something important. Real growth is like planting bamboo. You water it, you take care of it, and for 5 years, nothing seems to happen. You look at the soil and think maybe it's dead. Maybe it will never grow. But in the 6th year, the bamboo suddenly shoots up to the sky, sometimes growing more than 6 feet in a single week. Was it growing in that 1 week? No, it was growing underground all along, building roots so strong that when the time came, nothing could stop it. Your dreams are like that bamboo. Most people give up in the first 5 years. They stop watering, they stop believing. Just when the roots are almost ready, they don't fail because they lack potential. They fail because they lack patience. When I was an English teacher, before Alibaba, I had a dream that one day the internet could connect Chinese businesses to the world. People laughed at me. They said, "Jack, we don't even have computers. What are you talking about?" But I kept learning, kept preparing. I didn't rush to prove them wrong. I just waited for the right time. When the moment came, when the internet wave arrived, we were ready because we had spent years building roots. That is why I tell young people, do not worry if you don't see results right now. It doesn't mean you're not growing. It means your roots are deepening. If you build your roots strong, your growth will be unstoppable. But if you rush to grow without roots, one small storm will knock you down. Patience doesn't mean doing nothing. It means doing small things every day with belief. It means trusting that invisible progress is still progress. You don't need to post your every move. You don't need to prove yourself every week. Work quietly, learn quietly, build quietly. Let your results make the noise later. There were times when I felt invisible, even useless. No one believed in me. No investor wanted to listen. But in those silent years, I was preparing. I was studying people, studying business, improving communication, learning leadership. When the world wasn't watching, I was growing. And because I respected the process respected me back. You see, patience is not weakness, it's strength. Anyone can start fast. Only the wise can finish strong. It takes courage to wait when you want to move faster. It takes faith to keep going when there is no applause. But those who can stay patient during the dark seasons, they are the ones who will rise like bamboo when their season arrives. So, if you are in a slow phase right now, don't be discouraged. Life is not rejecting you. It is preparing you. Every small effort, every invisible improvement is part of your unseen growth. Remember, the most beautiful flowers bloom last. One day you will look back and realize that those quiet, lonely, uncertain years were not wasted. They were the foundation of everything. Because you can't force sunrise, but you can prepare for it. And when the morning finally comes, the light will not just shine on you, it will shine from you. When I look back at everything I've achieved in life, I realize something very simple. I didn't do it alone. No one ever does. Success is never a one-man show. It's a story written by many hands, many hearts, and many sacrifices. In my early days, I thought success depended on how smart I was, how hard I worked, how many ideas I had. But as I grew older, I learned that success depends on how well you understand people. Business is not about numbers. It's about humans. If you don't understand people, you will never understand business, leadership, or even happiness. When I started Alibaba, I knew nothing about technology. I didn't even know how to code. But I knew people, I knew how to listen, how to encourage, how to unite a group around a shared dream. That became our greatest strength. We were a team built not on skill, but on trust. I remember one evening, in our early days, our small team was tired and discouraged. We had been working for months, yet nothing seemed to work. People were questioning the vision. I stood up and told them, if Alibaba succeeds, it's because of all of you. If it fails, it's because of me. They all went silent. I meant it. I wanted them to know that I would take the responsibility, but I needed them to share the dream. That night, they didn't quit. They worked harder, because people don't work for money alone. They work for belief, for belonging, for purpose. To understand people, you must listen. Most leaders talk too much. They believe leadership means giving orders. But true leadership means listening. Really listening to what people feel, not just what they say. Every person you meet knows something you don't. Every person is fighting a battle you cannot see. When you start listening more, you begin to understand what motivates them, what scares them, and how to bring out the best in them. One of the most important lessons I learned in business is this: never underestimate kindness. In a world that is often competitive and cold, kindness becomes a rare advantage. Treat your employees like family, your customers like friends, and your competitors with respect. When you lead with kindness, people don't just follow you, they believe in you. Many people think leadership means being strong and fearless. I think leadership means being human. Sometimes you must admit you don't have all the answers. Sometimes you must say, I need your help. That honesty builds connection, and connection builds loyalty. At Alibaba, I always told my team, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. We built our culture around that principle. I celebrated people who helped others succeed, not just those who hit targets. I wanted them to understand that when you lift others, you rise too. The art of people is also the art of empathy. It's about seeing through another person's eyes, even when you don't agree with them. It's about treating the janitor with the same respect as the CEO, because respect is not about titles, it's about humanity. In life, relationships are your real wealth. You can lose money, you can lose business. But if you still have people who trust you, you can rebuild everything. But if you lose trust, even billions of dollars cannot bring it back. So, learn to care. Learn to listen. Learn to make people feel seen and valued. Don't just build a network. Build connections. Don't just hire employees. Build a family. At the end of the day, business is about helping others succeed so that together you can succeed. That is the art of people. That is the art of leadership. And if you learn that art, you will go far. Not just in business, but in life. There will be moments in your life when the world doubts you. When your friends don't understand your dreams, when your family worries that you are wasting your time, when even you, deep inside, begin to question whether you are good enough. That is the moment that separates the dreamers from the doers. When I started Alibaba, almost everyone thought I was crazy. They said, Jack, you don't know technology, you have no money, no connections. How can you compete with big companies? Even my friends told me to give up and find a stable job. At that time, I was just a simple English teacher. I had nothing except the dream that the internet could help small businesses in China connect with the world. The truth is, I also had doubts. I was scared. Every night, I asked myself, what if they are right? What if I fail again? But then another voice inside me whispered, what if you were right? That one small question gave me the courage to take the next step. The biggest enemy in your life is not other people. It's your own fear. Fear is clever. It speaks softly, like a friend. It tells you to wait, to prepare more, to think again. It makes you feel safe, but it quietly steals your courage. If you listen to it too long, you will stop moving. You will become a prisoner of your own mind. When fear comes, the only way to defeat it is to act. Don't wait to feel confident. Confidence comes after action, not before. I use a simple rule, the 5-minute rule. When I feel doubt, I don't sit and think. I take one small step. I write an email, I make a call, I speak to someone. It doesn't matter how small the action is. What matters is that I move. Because once you start moving, fear loses its power. In business and in life, people will doubt you. They will laugh at your ideas. They will call you unrealistic. That's normal. The world has always doubted dreamers. When people don't believe in you, it's not your problem, it's their limitation. The important thing is that you keep believing. I remember one journalist once asked me, Jack, aren't you worried about what people say behind your back? I smiled and said, if they're talking behind my back, it means I'm already ahead of them. You see, you must keep your sense of humor even in hard times. Laughter keeps your fire alive. Your mind is your biggest battlefield. Every day, you wake up with two voices. One that says you can, and another that says you can't. Which voice wins? The one you feed the most? Feed your courage, not your fear. Surround yourself with people who lift you up, not those who pull you down. There will be dark nights when you feel like quitting. You'll think, maybe I'm not meant for this. I felt that too. But remember this, a ship is safe in the harbor. But that's not what ships are built for. You are not built for safety. You are built for discovery. You are built to face the waves, to travel far, to see what others can't see. So when the world doubts you, smile gently. Don't argue. Don't waste your energy trying to convince everyone. Just keep building. Keep working quietly. Let your results do the talking. Because when your dream finally works, the same people who doubted you will say, I always knew you could do it. Don't lose your fire. Just because the world doesn't see your light yet. Keep it burning. Protect it. Feed it with hope, with discipline, with small actions every day. Because one day, that small flame inside you will become the light that guides others through their own darkness. Pressure is something every person must face if they want to grow. There is no success without pressure, just like there is no diamond without fire. The question is not how to escape pressure, but how to transform it into power. Most people think pressure is their enemy. They say, I'm too stressed. Life is too hard. I can't handle this anymore. But the truth is, pressure is a test. It's life's way of asking, how much can you grow? When I was building Alibaba, I faced pressure every single day. There was financial pressure, emotional pressure, social pressure. We were running out of money. We were losing people. And the media kept calling us a failure. I remember nights when I couldn't sleep. I stared at the ceiling, wondering if I had made the biggest mistake of my life. I thought about the 18 people who had trusted me with their dreams. I couldn't let them down. The pressure felt heavy, like the world was sitting on my shoulders. But then, something changed in my thinking. I realized that pressure itself was not the problem. It was how I interpreted it. When I stopped seeing pressure as pain and started seeing it as preparation, everything changed. I told myself, this pressure is here to make me stronger. And slowly the same thing that once crushed me began to shape me. When you feel stressed, try to see it as a teacher. Every difficult situation is training you for something bigger. A mountain looks huge when you stand at the bottom, but if you keep climbing step by step, you become stronger. Eventually you realize the mountain was never your enemy. It was your gym. Many people break under pressure because they forget gratitude. When life becomes heavy, they focus only on the burden, not the blessing. But the secret is simple. Start your morning with thank you. Say thank you for the opportunity to try. Thank you for the people who believe in you. Thank you even for the problems, because they are helping you grow. Gratitude doesn't remove the pressure, but it changes how it feels. It turns stress into strength. I used to tell my team, don't complain. Complaining doesn't solve problems. Gratitude does. When you complain, you give your energy to what's wrong. When you are grateful, you focus on what's right. And that gives you the power to move forward. Think about the process of making a diamond. It starts as an ordinary piece of coal. It's dark, it's dirty, it's nothing special. But under intense pressure and heat, it transforms into something beautiful, something rare. The coal doesn't complain, it doesn't resist, it just endures. That's how life works too. When the world puts pressure on you, remember, it's shaping you into something precious. Without that pressure, you would stay ordinary. Sometimes when people ask me, Jack, aren't you tired of stress? I smile and say, pressure is the best gift life ever gave me. Because every time I faced pressure, I found a new version of myself. Smarter, calmer, stronger. You see, there is a kind of peace that only comes after surviving chaos. There is a kind of confidence that only comes after carrying a heavy load and realizing it didn't break you. That's the beauty of pressure. It reveals your true capacity. So when life feels heavy, don't curse the mountain. Thank it. Say, you are my teacher. Then climb it. Because the view from the top is not just about success, it's about who you became on the way up. When you thank the mountain, the climb becomes a blessing. When you thank the struggle becomes strength. And one day, when you look back, you'll realize that the moments that pressured you the most were the moments that prepared you for everything you have now. When I was young, I used to think success was about money. I believed that if I could earn enough, buy a nice car, live in a big house, and travel the world, then I would be happy. But the truth is, after you reach a certain point, money doesn't give you meaning. It only gives you comfort. And comfort without purpose becomes emptiness. In my early years as an entrepreneur, I chased opportunities because I wanted to prove myself. I wanted people to see that Jack Ma could succeed, that the man who was rejected from so many jobs could still make it. But as Alibaba grew, I began to see that the real value of our success wasn't in the profit we made. It was in the people we helped, small business owners, shopkeepers, young entrepreneurs. They were able to feed their families, build their dreams, and change their lives because of the platform we built. That realization changed everything for me. Success without service is empty. If your only goal is to make money, your happiness will always be limited. Because once you get what you want, you'll start asking, what next? But if your goal is to create value, to make life better for others, your happiness will grow with every life you touch. When you build something meaningful, it gives you a sense of peace that money can't buy. I remember meeting a small business owner who used Alibaba to sell his handmade products. He came to me with tears in his eyes and said, Mr. Ma, before your platform, I couldn't even afford to send my daughter to school. Now she's in university. In that moment, I realized that is real wealth. We all have two choices in life: to make a living or to make a difference. The first one pays your bills. The second one fills your soul. You can do both, but you must always remember which one matters more. Ask yourself every night before you sleep, who did I help today? Maybe it's a friend, a colleague, a stranger. Maybe it's just offering advice, encouragement, or kindness. You don't need to be rich to give. You just need to care. When you help others grow, your life grows with them. I often tell young people, don't aim to be the richest person. Aim to be the most respected person. Because respect is earned not by what you own, but by what you give. You can lose your wealth in one bad year, but you can never lose your legacy if it's built on kindness and contribution. I remember visiting a small village school that we supported through Alibaba Foundation. I saw the smiles of the children, their eyes full of dreams, and I thought, this is what success should look like. Not just how much you have, but how much light you bring into other people's lives. We are all temporary travelers on this earth. No one stays forever. You can't take your money or your fame when you leave. The only thing that remains is your impact, how you made people feel, what you built that continued after you were gone. So, build something that matters, whether it's a business, a family, or a simple act of generosity. Build it with heart. Don't just live to earn, live to serve. Don't just collect wealth, collect moments of meaning. One day when people remember your name, I hope they don't just say he was successful. I hope they say he helped others succeed. He made life better. Because that is the kind of success that never fades. We are temporary travelers. What we give is what ours. Oh, my friends, if you want to reset your life in 6 months, don't start by changing your job or your city. Start by changing your habits, your mindset, your heart. Learn from your failures. Be patient like bamboo. Build relationships with kindness. Act even when afraid. Turn your pressure into power. And give more than you take. Do these 6 things, and in 6 months, you won't just change your results. You will change your direction. Remember, life doesn't reward the fastest. It rewards the most consistent, the most humble, the most grateful. Every morning, look in the mirror and say, I am still learning. That one sentence can change your destiny. Because the world doesn't need another successful person. It needs kind, brave, patient dreamers. People who never stop believing that tomorrow can be better. And if that person is you, then the next 6 months could be the start of the best chapter of your life, thought remains. So, give love, give help, give hope. That is how you leave a legacy, not just a salary. Thank you. And never stop believing in your own story.